What is good, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back, and it is time for an incoming announcement, people. Incomings. It's at last, we would say, at last. Jayden Bogle is in the building. He has signed for Leeds United. Much needed incoming, a very key incoming as well. We're going to get into all of that, including his former boss's comments and everything else, his comments coming forward. But yeah, man, it feels good to get this one in the building. I'm not going to lie. I've been saying since we were linked with him, wow, I didn't think this one was going to be possible, just purely because Sheffield United are one of our promotion chasing rivals. But as Chris Wilder said, he saw his future at Leeds United, and the rest is history, people. Before I get into it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop your comments below. Thank you. Listen, people have been supporting mad lately, so thank you so much, people. Malcolm, Patrick, Kilgallen, and Isaac with the super thanks, much appreciated. And thank you to Benny Hawkins, who's become a member, always leaving comments, and you've become a member. Thank you, Benny. So, and if you want to become a member, the link is in the description, or it's next to the subscribe button. Listen, people, yeah, evening, yeah, SSJW, good signing, especially at this level. Yep, Russ echoing that, evening KG, a good addition, a much needed happy days. Absolutely. Gavin saying Bogle on down, KG. Well, that's the only Bogle I know, people. And if you know, you know. Get it with it. All right. Sai saying evening, KG. This is more like it. 100. Chris in the house. What's going on, Chris, man? Are you feeling good? Evening, KG. Good day for it. Good signing at Leeds. Plus, my boy got scouted by Villa in the tournament today. Been invited to training with them. Chris, congratulations to your boy, man. That's pretty big. That's pretty big still. That's nice. And listen, Chris, you know what? With you, how ironic would it be if one day your boy gets managed by Daniel Farker? Hey, imagine that. Daniel, I rated you the whole time, you know. I love you, you know. But no, shout out to your son, man. That's awesome. Yeah, really buzzing about the signing. Yeah, Mr. Bucky, Miss Bucky. Yeah, love it when players really want to come. Pause, but I hear you. Yep. Ian saying makes a stronger blades weaker. Happy days. Yeah, listen, he's he's obviously been putting out his post and everything else like that. Thank you to the Sheffield United fans. They've just been seasoning it with salt, man. It's just been adding some seasoning to his post. Yeah, I'd wish you luck, but it seems you've gone to Leeds. I can't do that. And you know what? All is fair in love and war. All is fair. Yeah, big pause in that. Big pause. Big pause. It's amazing when you add it up. If you could change Shackleton for Bogle, would you do it? I think everyone would do that every day of the week. Aaron here saying it's a good evening, KG. Smells like promotion. It does, man. It does. I'm telling you, man. I'm sorry to all the people that are still worried and everything, because there's still some that think we need to add about 10 players to the squad, which is just not true. If we keep this squad as it is, I know it's unlikely, people, please, I know, but the way the squad is looking now, it is looking good for the championship, especially with Verba being reintegrated. Aronson still to come, more to come from Crew. Joseph looking like he's going to tear it up. Guys, there is so much to come. Dan James is here. Look, guys, we are in good shape, people. We are in good shape. And shout out to the community congratulating Chris. It's big, you know, big. Hopefully, if your boy's a flair player, Chris, hopefully they don't coach you out of him. You know how I feel about that. Ian saying that back five is unbelievable. Listen, I think in the Premier League, you obviously need to add to that. I think that goes without saying. But in this division, that back five and any variation of it as well, by the way, how can you even argue with it? I don't know how you can even argue with it. I do think we are still one player light, and I'm going to go into that in a bit because someone left a comment on the previous video, and I thought we could go through it together. Mikey moving like Goldberg, great signing. Who's next? Here we go. Yeah, that Mandea, this one got me doing the Bogle. You know it, that Mandea. You know what I'm talking about. Gavin, please don't. The boy in the bandana saying bitter lemons from the Sheffield side just proved he's a valued asset. I think that is it. You know, he was one of their best players, and I think that's not even an arguable point. And to lose him to his rivals, it does hurt. Of course it would. It like last season, if we were to lose Somerville, or let's turn it down. I don't know who. If we were to lose Dan James to Leicester, that would suck, because you know what you're adding to Leicester and what Leicester have already got. It would suck to lose him. So I can see it from the Sheffield United side, who themselves are probably looking to bounce back with promotion. But yeah, listen, people, and talking about that, we have to, before we get into the Bogle sign, we've got to talk about his departure, because Chris Wilder spilled all the beans before, before it was officially done. By then it was already sealed. I think he was doing his media stuff by then when Chris Wilder spoke before their friendly victory over Chesterfield. But he laid it all out. And what I will say in Chris Wilder's defense, what I will say in his defense is that I think he was protecting his own back because he did not want Jayden Bogle to leave. It was quite clear the wording. He wanted him to stay. He said he can't force him to sign a contract. He was saying that I would love Jayden. I signed him with Max Lowe. We'd love him to continue, but we can't make him stay. And then the player himself, and this is key. And maybe this is something that you shouldn't have probably said because maybe it looks, your own fans are looking at you like, well, what does that mean for us? But he said Jayden saw his future at Leeds United. That is from Chris Wilder's mouth. And if you haven't seen it, it's on the BBC Radio Sheffield. Go and watch it. But Chris Wilder laid it all bare. They did not want him to go, but then it's about finding the best deal possible for Sheffield United, which they've done. Obviously, we've said it's undisclosed, but I think everyone knows that the fee is 5 million and it will probably rise to 7 when we're promoted people. That's right. That's right. Nigel D, good pick of Wilder. It kind of encapsulates him. I was saying earlier, I hope all the referees are ready for Chris Wilder this year, especially if he needs to talk to him and that they don't have a sandwich in their hand because he finds that very disrespectful. All right, very disrespectful. So there it is, and it is true what a lot of people are saying. We have weakened them by taking Jayden Bogle, making us stronger. So again, that's another point to us in terms of the promotion race for me already. Yeah, Bobby. You could, if you, Bobby. Obviously, you heard it. You could tell. You could just tell how much he hated the fact he chose Leeds over him. Yeah, the hate is strong. Well, he's called us Muppets before and everything else. The feelings are quite strong in it. Even when they got promoted that year, it was a large portion of his interview about Leeds United, which is part of the course this year when you consider Ipswich as well. It's one of those things, isn't it? But they need to focus on the takeover. We're giving them a 5 mil. I don't know if that 5 mil is going to go on new players or maybe it's paid for the salaries, the signing fee of O'Hare and the transfer fee of Kiefer Moore. That's not our problem. We've got our man in the door and it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, Russ, exactly. I don't bat an eyelid at who hates us. I love it. Yeah. That whole thing when we was people's second team, when we went up with Bielsa, I hated that. I don't like that. I don't like people being people's second team. I don't like it. No, I prefer us to be us against the world. That's the way I like things. Maybe that's because that's how I'm in my life. If you're not with me, you're against me. But yeah, I don't like being people's second team. Maybe like, don't they play nice football with those little average players they got? No, don't patronize me. You know what I'm saying? Parrot House, yeah, promotion. Let's go, man. I'm not going to say obviously because of YouTube, but you know what Richard trying to say here. But yeah, in regards to that, so there it is, and let's get to the article. I usually wait for the quotes to come on the website, but there isn't really much what Jayden Bogle said that isn't part of the course when a new signing is signed. So we can just take a few bits from that. But there he is, Jayden Bogle putting pen to paper. And I'm not going to read all of this. It's on the Leeds website, but I'll just take the key bits. Leeds United are delighted to announce the signing of Jayden Bogle from Sheffield United for an undisclosed fee. The 23-year-old fullback has put pen to paper on a 4-year deal at Ellen Road, committing his future with the Whites until the summer of 2028. And yeah, I'm just going to go to the bottom, people. Everyone at Leeds United would like to welcome Jayden to the club, who is the 4th arrival of the summer transfer window. He will now join up with Daniel Farker and the rest of the squad on their pre-season training camp in Germany. So there you are. They're not wasting any time in terms of that. Jayden Bogle gave some of his on Twitter, but he gave a more lengthy post on IG. But here it is, new chapter, buzzing to be part of this massive club. Can't wait to get started. And just to let everyone know, because I know people like this kind of stuff, he will be our number 2. So there you go. Jayden Bogle is our number 2, and the Leeds account saying iconic number for a significant player. And I agree. I'm hoping that he will be more of the mold of Gary Kelly. Yeah, so we don't even have to think about him. Oh man, Bogle's out of form. No, I hope he's on the mold of a Gary Kelly for me, people. So yeah, just great. Everyone loving that Wilder image, man. Yeah, it's all over the place, man. It's all over. I couldn't not use it, man. It was a layup. One of those. It was a layup. Yeah, Nige here saying LUFC video on this good on this signing. He knows Ampadu. Yeah, they were together at Sheffield United. So when Ampadu was there on loan, Obviously, that year they got relegated, they were together. So yeah, he already knows him from before. He was talking about it's his birthday next week. Maybe he'll get Ampadu to get him a cake or something. So he already has a little bit of familiarity. And of course, Jayden Bogle was here before, has played here many times before. And I'm going to speak about that in a bit, just from a message I got earlier today. And this is what I was alluding to in the earlier video today. But yeah, he was just talking about it's a brilliant club, big club. It's going to be nice to be on this side of it this time. His style of play is he loves going forward. He's solid at the back, positionally sound, and all of that stuff. And it's going to be great to see that in person in terms of Jayden Bogle playing for this football club. Yeah, Tuhal saying evening KG, a modern day Gary Kelly. Yes, please. Yeah, shout out to Gary Kelly. Honestly, he's maybe because it's part of my time. Maybe some older fans will know better right backs, but for me, I never even had to think about Gary Kelly being in the team. He was just automatic for me. And even when we got Danny Mills did displace him at some point, but Gary Kelly was just solid, man, just reliable, Mr. Reliable for me, and you can't ask for any more in that. Brilliant, brilliant. I love Gary Kelly. He's one of my favorites. Um, yeah, Ian saying what we have now is more options. We can change the system mid-game without substituting. Can go with a back four with Pascal or Max moving into the midfield. Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a bit. Carl here saying great signing, still only 23 with plenty of potential to develop defensively. Solid back line. Hopefully keep plenty of shots away from Melier, who still needs to improve. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, shout out to you, Tahal, man. Gavin here, yeah, I mean it's crazy, isn't it? The things that we are begging for is just normal for a lot of clubs. But Gavin here, it will be a novelty to see a right back at right back. It's crazy, isn't it? I know Sam Byram is a right back, but I think it's fair to say even with Sam Byram in the when he was playing there, he actually looked more comfortable at left back, which is really weird because he was training himself to be a left back at the time. And then when he moved to the right back, he wasn't going forward past the halfway line. It was really crazy. But yeah, it's going to be nice to see that. Obviously, we know Cody Drame is going to be leaving along with a couple of others. But yeah, this is good, man. This is a good signing, people. We're going to have a whole new dimension at our right back. This is kind of like what Daniel Farke was probably looking for when he tried to get Max Aarons at the time, and of course, Jed Spence. And that kind of ties into a comment that someone left, what I'm going to talk about. But yeah, now this is our man. This is a permanent sign in 4 years. I absolutely love it. I do. And look, when we do go up, I do see him being in the squad. Maybe we will have to get another one as well to compete. That's pretty obvious. But for the championship, I think Bogle's going to kill it. And you know what, people, for a right back, he got 10 goals for Sheffield United, or over 10 goals for Sheffield United from fullback. We're dreaming of those numbers. We're dreaming. So yeah, let me just put this. Evening, Richard with the super chat. Thank you. Okay, Richard going with a pun. All right, puntastic. Bogle's the mine, evening KG. That's tremendous. All right, thank you for that, Richard. Much appreciated. Uh, James here saying excited for the new sign. I'm going to crack open a Red Bull sugar free. Go crazy, James. Go crazy. But listen. Well, let me see what is next on this. Yeah, you know what? And in that interview, I just got to say this. I'm really glad that he wasn't asked about this. And that's not to say he won't be asked about this, especially when we were about to play Derby County. Maybe he's going to be on there. But let me just say this very quickly. Let me take a sip first, Pete. Somebody messaged me earlier, and I'm not going to say the name, but listen, people, you give me good comments and I praise them. If you give me crap comments, I can call them out, just as you will call out any silly comments I make. And it's fair. That's the transaction we make as me as a creator and you as the audience. That's fair, isn't it? Somebody messaged me earlier saying, I don't want Jayden Bogle. I messaged back. I said, why? I thinking he's going to say, oh, he's defensively poor, like the lazy rhetoric going around. No, he goes, no, I can't forgive him for doing the binoculars against us in the semi-final. I went, you know what? I didn't even reply back. I've left it unread. Okay. Let me tell you something just very quickly. The fact that he's an S house in this way is a good thing. And it means we're going to probably love him at this football club. I know this football club loves S house. The thing is, he's got talent to go with it. If you're, I even forgot he was one of the people doing it, but they were all doing it. And it was a highly emotive night. It was a highly emotive season, let's face it. But if you're holding this against him, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't have no words for you, but I would hope that everyone is sensible enough to know that now we've got him. You know what? The best thing he could do is when he scores his first goal, even though it's an old trope, do the binoculars. Do that and just shut everybody up. But yeah, I just can't believe people brought that up. Honestly, I just can't believe it. And my rule of thumb is if one person said it, that means there's other people that are probably thinking it too. So hopefully it's not going to spread or anyone really cares because I don't care one iota. Um, Emma here saying delighted with the signing, but little worried about Bogle's injury record. That's a myth, Emma. I don't know where you've heard that, but I don't think he's been out for longer than. And I'm going to be generous here. 2 months in a certain period of time. There's nothing to worry about, and he passed his medical with flying colors, so I'm not worried about that at all. And yeah, Michael, that's a good point. Emma, don't worry. Rob Price has gone now. That is tremendous. That is tremendous. Yeah, I mean, Bobby, this is what I'm talking about. This is completely irrelevant. Must have been like 18, 19 at the time. It's insane how some people can hold on to grudges. It blew me for six. It hit me for six, man. I just did not see it coming. Talking about binoculars. What are we doing here? What's going on? Yeah, but yeah, listen. Never mind. Never mind. I just wanted to make that clear. Come on, guys, be better than that. So yeah, there is that. And where we going next? Where we going next? Yeah. That's something he said here. Why not just get it up on the screen while I'm here? It's a massive club and opportunity. I've come to play my best and create history together. Yeah, that was actually near the end of the video. Yeah. So yeah, listen, 100%. Jay, he will probably bring a real pair of binoculars with him to the promotion party. See, that's funny. That's funny. Honestly, that is good. But listen, people, in regards to that, that just means our defensive core is stronger. But there was a comment that was left only a few hours ago. I think I said yesterday, I did this video earlier. No idea why I said yesterday. But listen, I was sort of talking about that I want a left back, another one in, even though we're keeping Verba. And I think this person is called Sugary Goodness, and his name here is actually Gargantuan D. All right, man. KG, I ain't greedy to expect another left back. It's utter negligence to go into next season without another left back. We seemed allergic to signing them. And he had a reply underneath by the righteous one saying, if we've got Firpo, Verba, and Byram, though, it's really enough cover to cover the left back. But I don't see it that way. So I disagree with the second comment. And that is purely because we know injuries and suspensions can happen. If you just take last season as an example, we still had defensive bodies in, but they weren't ones that Farker trusted, like Creswell, Cooper for a time as well. And then what happened in the end, people, is that we ended up playing both Drame. We started Drame at left back, and then Jed Spence played left back, and we can't go into that position again. So let's just say Strauch or Rodon come off with a little injury. You got Verber at centre back, and then somebody else will be there. Then who's at left back? What if Bogle goes off injured or has a suspension? You'd think Byram's going to be there. So for me, I do want another left back just to round out the defensive group. I think that would be the best way to go. And just so we don't leave ourselves short and have a catastrophe like we had last year, putting in players that have no business being at left back and expecting them to perform. I mean, what say you, man? What say you? Allison saying a number 9 next and a cam. Okay. All right. All right. Um yeah, I know. I know. That's what I'm saying, Rich. It's a myth. There is no injury worries with Bogle. There isn't. So, and it's not saying he's not going to get injured. That there's no point coming back to me saying I thought he wasn't going to get injured. No, he's human being. He's not a robot, but he's not injury prone. Yeah, Nige saying definitely left back required. I'm not sure. You know what, Kaz? I don't remember if Shackleton played left back. Don't remember that because you know what? It took you guys to remind me about Cody Drama being put in at left back and then getting taken off because it wasn't his position. I noticed that too, James. I noticed that he's right-footed with his I noticed that. Crazy these things we notice as humans, yeah. Graham here saying, what's difficult to get a left back that is a genuine left back? Yeah, and the thing is as well, people, we don't even need to spend a lot on a left back. We could even loan one. You just need to go through Premier League squads. And if Firpo is staying, he's obviously going to be our first choice. Daniel Farker seems to trust him. So you just go for one that is going to be a squad member and that can fill in. And Firpo will need breaks. There's no way Firpo is going to be able to manage 46 games. History on that would tell you that. He did very well last year to stay fit for a majority of the season. But we know Firpo can go out at any point. So Yeah, for me, I would just feel more comfortable if we do get another left back and then not have to move them all around like musical chairs. Because he may want to play a back three in one game, but because we then have an injury or a suspension to two players, he'll have to reshuffle it and change the whole game plan. Well, why do that when you can just get another left back who can slot in for Firpo? That would just be me, people. That would just be me. Gavin here saying can only see Shaq's ended up on their bench. Well, apparently, Gavin, he's their starting right back. That's the word on from the Sheffield reports is that they see Shackleton as their starting right back. So, fair play to them. That's up to them. David here saying you still need another fullback to cover any injuries. Yeah, and just rotation. When Firpo's off it or needs to come off, bring in that left back. That's all I'm saying, people. That's all I feel comfortable with, and hopefully they are still looking at that. And by the list anyway, people, the one that I was sent, it was a right back and a left back. So hopefully they are still in the market for that. But maybe the Verba staying and other things have made them look at it and say, well, maybe we don't need one. But we'll only know that at the end of the transfer window, people. So yeah, so there is that. Let me see. Is that all? Is that all there is? I think that is it, people. I think we are done with the show. Um, no, not for me, Nigel. I gotta say, Ryan Manning. I think we dodged one with that one, and it's not just because he lost his place at Southampton or anything like that. But yeah, I don't think he's what we need. I think he's probably a little bit better than Junior Firpo defensively, but not by a lot. And he lost his place for a reason at Southampton. They've even brought in Charlie Taylor. Sorry, as a left back option. So for me, Ryan Manning, I don't think we need to touch that, and I don't think a lot of fans would even like it after he was involved in the trolling against Leeds last year. I don't think so. I think we can do better. I think we can do better anyway. Um, Graham here saying the chef fans say Bogle's class when they play him at right midfield. Yeah, he can play right midfield. That's not a problem for him. He can play wing back, right midfield. He's good all up and down the line. It's going to be good. People look forward to seeing him play, man. Honestly, he's going to be good. I know I said this before about Jed Spence, but that wasn't his fault. That wasn't his fault. He was coming in at right back and he got played at left back. People, so you know what I mean. Um, Rusty is saying, big love, KG. Keep up the great work. Smashing the coverage, my brother. Yeah, listen, thank you for everyone joining me. That is the show. It's good to announce someone coming in. That's so key. We obviously had Joe Ruffell, who's going to be a big part of this team going forward as well. Nice to see Jayden come in the building. As someone said earlier, who's next? We shall find out. People, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. We'll be back tomorrow if there's anything major to talk about. But yeah, listen, people, like the video, subscribe, drop your comments below, and see you in the next one, people. Peace out.